This is an emergency podcast episode. The first, is it a good thing or a bad thing we're starting with an emergency podcast? I'm not sure about that.
I think it's a good thing. We're going to go with a good thing.
That I like it. There's not really a better time because it's like we're so excited. Tomorrow, we're on World Cup Eve today. And so Mexico kicks off tomorrow in Azteca. And so a little bit about us. This is my cousin Jeremy. We grew up playing soccer together since we were little until, our careers were at an end. We gave it our best shot.
Happened pretty quickly.
Yeah. But, we're still, fans. I'm coaching in New Mexico, a guys team out here. And Jeremy, you can say a little bit about what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm an assistant coach for a girls' high school team with a good friend of both of ours. And been doing it for almost 10 years now, which is crazy to think about.
That is wild.
It's I mean, when you see players that you coached are having kids and things, you're like, oh. But
yeah. Definitely shows our age, huh?
The transition from a player to a coach happened pretty quickly, so it's been fun since then. And you know how we are. We've always watched the game. We always keep an eye on the sport, and it's been fun watching the sport grow in this country. Coming from a country where that is the main sport, watching the sport grow here has been fun.
Right. It's not so surprising if you see like, oh, they're playing soccer over there. You know what I mean?
I mean, you see fields everywhere now, which is great. You know what I mean? And the fact that I can still play every Sunday in in a league is fun still too.
Yeah.
So
yes, sir. Well, going back to the part of the growth of the sport, obviously in '94, the U.S. hosted, and the year after that, they launched MLS. And, I remember going to crew games and there's like a handful of fans, and now it's, the supporters out there are
massive
huge.
new stadium. Yeah. That massive new stadium. All the teams are getting their own soccer specific stadiums. It's not just Columbus now. It's so much fun. I want to go to more stadiums other than what Columbus has done. But, with the growing family, it's so hard. But I think hopefully we can start doing a little bit more of that now that, thank God, my kids are into the sport.
Yeah.
And finally getting into it. But
yeah. And even like the pathways, I've noticed like ECNL, they have MLS Next and all these different things. And I see some of the guys that I coach, starting to compete and get recruited by some of these teams. There's like so many different pathways, whereas I feel like before it was like, it's very linear, like it's only, this is the path. And if you don't happen to, maybe you don't have a parent who can pay to get to that specific tournament, now you have so many of these different clubs who are recruiting from each other and ways to reach your goals,
Yeah, even outside of the ECNL and some of those club areas, you now have semi-pro teams popping up even right here in Worcester.
Yeah,
which is not crazy. Something I would have ever even thought that would happen. It's just, it comes down to quite a bit of the guys around. Well, the guys around here, they want to see the sport so much. And a lot of them have been able to go to Europe and see how each town has its own local club. And so that's a lot how that started. Do you remember Debbie?
Sounds familiar.
I believe redheaded girl. She played with us indoor. She signed a contract with a team out in Tiffin, I think, or something like that.
Oh, really? Wow.
And it's cool to see that a lot of the towns, you want to say smaller towns like Worcester, are starting to, they have their own club. They're trying to make it into, they're trying to work their way up through what the U.S. system is. And I'm like, I kind of want to go and I haven't been out there yet to watch any games. And I kind of want to go. It's like, we'd have a local club now. That's never, ever in a million years when we were even in high school I would have ever thought that we would have been able to have that.
Right.
And just, again, the growth of the sport it really is fun. Back in high school, Mr. C always used to say that soccer is the fastest growing sport in Ohio, or not Ohio, in the U.S. And it's like, you never really saw it as a kid. You don't see it,
right.
But now it's everywhere. It really is everywhere. I really hope that MLS and USL and all these groups, I'm really hoping that the U.S. Soccer Federation makes all these groups start working together, and you start seeing more involvement from the top levels to the bottom levels. And my big hope is that we finally start seeing some promotion and relegation styles. A little more of a European idea. I really think that that's kind of where it's going. Well, I hope that's where it's going. I don't know.
Well, as a USL, right? They recently voted to do that, the relegation promotion. And I wonder if that will push MLS, or are they just going to be like stubborn and just...
I don't know. Americans aren't used to the idea of that.
Right.
And whenever it's, they talk about these owners of these clubs, they call it, it's a very expensive boys club.
Right.
And they don't want to get kicked out of the club. You know what I mean? Which, if you think about it, what's good for the sport, it would be good for the sport. It'd be good for them. You're forced to be better. You're gonna, and if you're one of the better teams and you do invest and you do keep yourself relevant, you're gonna get more fans. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's some of these clubs that kind of stay at the bottom. I mean, they all have great fan bases. I'm not saying, but some of these clubs that you don't really can think of as challengers pretty consistently, they don't have massive fan bases. And again, I'm not saying that there's not bad fan base, that there's bad fan bases. They all have great fan bases, but if you're pretty consistently at the bottom and you never see your team having the ability to go and win, it's like,
well,
you want to continue going.
It reminds me a little bit also of like the NBA has a problem where they have people tanking just to try and get the picks, and then recently they've made moves to try and fix some of that, But like a team in the Premier League has no incentive to finish bottom. You know what I mean?
You lose money if you finish bottom. Like
you
need those TV contracts. Yeah.
So
I think why, everybody's so hungry to get into that prem, because the whole area benefits.
Right.
I don't know if you watched any of the Welcome to Wrexham stuff, but like the fact that they've been able to do what they do, like everybody around seems like they've benefited somewhat of it.
Right.
It's interesting. It's an interesting watch.
I've been meaning, I just like catch highlights or moments from that, but
it's pretty cool. I gotta admit, it's pretty cool what Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds have done with that. When I first saw that they had bought the club and stuff, I was like, well, what do they know about the sport? Well, Rob McElhenney knows quite a bit, apparently. Well, he knew enough to keep smart people in areas.
He's not the answers. Yeah, he doesn't need all the answers. He just needs to trust people who know it.
Yeah, and he was smart enough to get someone rich enough to back it up.
Yeah, that's it. There's so much we can continue with soccer in America. And to that point, like, hopefully this is going to continue. So the goal, I think, with this, the show is going to be this kind of, the jolt is the World Cup, starting this, and who knows, hopefully more stuff it'll do in the US for soccer. But,
hopefully we'll be at the next World Cup.
Yeah, right. So what we're going to do is at least once a week, hopefully once a week, unless it doesn't happen, but once a week, we're going to do an episode, kind of talking about what happened. There's a ton of games in this World Cup, and discussing, from what we're seeing and stuff, and seeing if our brackets are completely busted or not, after the group stage and whatnot. But,
I took a couple risks.
Well, we're going to get into that too. But then the other thing is, after this, we're hoping that it continues. you know, we're cousins. You know, we've gone through so much different soccer experiences together and stuff. And so we want this is a good excuse for us to talk, even though we're on opposite sides of the country. And yeah, I don't know. We want to continue after, so we're going to talk about soccer in America and etc. Right? But kickoff tomorrow for the 2026 World Cup. First of all, what are your thoughts on the host countries, and who do you think is going to bring the best fan bases, and what are your thoughts, I guess, overall?
Okay, so I think it's great that we're starting off with El3. You know what I mean? It's great that we're starting off with Mexico and South Africa again. It's kind of a rerun of the 2010 World Cup start.
Shabalala, what is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we're gonna have Shabalala this time. I don't even think he's on the team. So, you and I have had a good view of what Mexico has done recently. Mexico used to be that, was a perennial round of 16 team. They always it always seemed like they found a way to make it to the round of 16. And they've kind of had a hard time the past couple of years. The US has kind of had their number. They can't really quite get past that little bit of a hurdle. They kind of been stuck in no man's land. I really do think that this World Cup is going to give Mexico a chance to really kind of make a bit of a comeback. I think they will. I do think they'll make it to the round of 16 this year, or for this World Cup. You got a feeling they're going to be getting most of their games in Mexico. I think. I mean, their first game is in La Azteca, so every game will be a home game. And you know how important that sport is to, Central American countries. I think Mexico, these fans are going to go absolutely crazy for this. I think the Mexican games are going to be an absolute spectacle. I think La Azteca is going to be bouncing for this game. They're getting a good chance to get a good start. South Africa is kind of struggling right now. Again, they didn't make it into the World Cup. I don't think they had a really easy trip into the World Cup. They've kind of been here, there, and everywhere. So I think Mexico starts off really strong in this game. I think they'll win by 2, in my opinion. Yeah, and going in and playing in La Azteca, we've never done it, but that's all anybody talks about is how hard it is to do. So I think
quality, elevation.
It's everything, and it's going to be so loud. I don't think you're going to be able to even think. So I think Mexico is going to start off in this game.
So with that recent history, because of their not the proper form that they've had before and stuff, and maybe just Canada and the US continuing to get better, how crazy is it going to get if there's an own goal? There's something, where it starts to flip the other direction. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I think I have Mexico winning 2-0 as well. But that crowd is so hostile towards the opposition. But in recent history, they have kind of flipped on their own team and stuff. And how much of a kind of a detriment could that be to the players if that were to, go the other direction? I don't think it will, but
I think if the game starts off a little rough, I say South Africa finds lightning in a bottle and they go up by a goal, depending on what the goal is like. I don't think Mexico will panic. I think the fans will turn on the team if the team doesn't look good. You know what I mean? And you can feel that when you're in stadiums. If your team's not quite up to it, it moves on to the fans, and lots of times teams do need the energy of the fans to get them going and keep things moving. However, I think Mexico is going to be ready for it. I think they understand that they're not in a perfect place for themselves, but I think that they will understand that they need to bring that energy. They're at home in La Azteca. They do have a decent team. They have that, they have a couple of really good young players. They have a good talisman up front. They have 2, Raul Jimenez and what's the other one? Raul He plays for Fulham. No, he did play for Fulham. Play for Wolves, not plays for Fulham. What is his name? Is it Raul Jimenez?
I think that was Jimenez, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jimenez. And the other one played really well in the Dutch league at first, and he moved to AC Milan and then didn't really play much. But they have two good strikers up front that have been around. They understand how to do it. And I don't think the fans will turn on them as quick. Not in the first game. I think if they go into the first game, even if they do go down, I think the team has enough experience and enough energy and enough want to bring themselves back. Now, if Mexico ties the first game and then they go into the second game against South Korea, that's a good South Korean team. A lot of people have been talking about how South Korea hasn't been where they need to be. They're a decently good team. They have great talent there. I wouldn't discount them. If they go into that game and they go down against South Korea, it might get a little sketchy a bit. Yeah, right. But I think the fans know, the Mexican fans are intelligent enough to understand, in a World Cup, you're going to want to push your team. You know what I mean? You're going to want to push it. You want them to win, and I think the team's going to feel that. And I think even if they do go down, I think that team will be calm enough and collected enough to go about and do what they got to do, which is tough as a U.S. fan to say about Mexico. But
yeah, I know. Right? we got to be objective here.
Yeah, I gotta give them a little bit of credit in last decade. It's just different. It's an animal unto itself.
Just watching them, throughout the different World Cup cycles and stuff, Azteca is like a cheat sheet. You know what I mean?
It's just
it's the atmosphere. From what I can just see, watching on TV and stuff, is just you can see them struggling. You get the oxygen mask sometimes on the side.
Yeah, on the sideline.
Yeah. So I think they come out of there to win as well. I just kind of feels like there's some magic. Even if they maybe weren't performing where the fans wanted them this whole time, but something about hosting the World Cup, for I think their third time. I don't know. I feel like something's good is gonna happen for them over there.
Plus, they might be looking for a bit of revenge on South Africa.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You got to win the opener as the host nation, hopefully. Right? But what about Canada? What are your obviously U.S. and Mexico are always competing. In recent history, Canada has some players playing at the higher levels than they maybe had before. What do you think about their opening?
I'm not sure what to think about Canada. They're playing against the Bosnia Herzegovina team that, you see that, and for me, I kind of think that they will win that game. But I watched Bosnia Herzegovina's qualifying. They're a tough team, man. They play hard, and they were willing to do the difficult things to win. They'll grind out a 1-1. If they can keep it close, they will grind you down. And I think Canada will win their first game. Well, I think.
Yeah.
I have all the host nations winning their first games. The U.S. Paraguay game has made me incredibly nervous, but we'll get to that in a minute. I think Canada will win that first game. Again, it's the host nation. You're in Toronto. You're in your home stadium. You're gonna have all the home games. I think Canada will be amped up a bit, and the reason I think about that is I think the Canadian team, they have a good mix of youth and a good mix of some experience. Like you said, they have players in that have been playing on the top level. Some in the Prem, some in, everywhere.
Germany,
frankly. Yeah, Germany especially. I think that they will be good enough and have enough to go at them. The other thing that I do love is I just love what Jesse Marsch is doing. It frustrates me that he's not the U.S. coach. I think he would have been a perfect fit because he just understands what CONCACAF soccer is about.
Would you have taken him over Pochettino or
in a heartbeat?
Oh, really? Well, cool.
Yeah, I think this is a paycheck for Pochettino, and again, I don't want to be negative about our team.
Right.
But I like what Jesse Marsch is doing. He has him ticking. He has him ramped up to 11. He has them doing exactly what they want to be doing right now, and they're on a hot streak. They're doing well. I would say they're the best team in CONCACAF right now. You kind of have to say it. They qualified at the top, even though they didn't really need to because they're a host nation.
Yeah.
They're doing well. They have great speed on the sides. They have some good forwards in Jonathan Davies and stuff like that. So
it was the last World Cup cycle. Is that they're the ones? Did they finish top last cycle, right, for the last World Cup? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it was something I'm kind of fuzzy on that right now. But then they went into 2022, and I don't think they won a single game. Like, did they have a goal? Like, they might have had a goal, maybe.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I can't remember. I should have looked that up, but
yeah,
I can't remember. The thing, and I kind of see where you're going with it. I think this Canadian team is pretty pissed about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think Jesse Marsh was the coach at that point.
No.
No, and I think they're like, look, we need to do something. A change needs to be done. And I love what Jesse Marsh is doing with them.
Yeah. I do think that okay. Obviously there's a lot of there's certain things to be frustrated about early on with Pochettino. In terms of, you're wanting for some consistency, but at the same time, I did like him looking at different players and stuff. There's certain players from whatever, but
we'll get to the U.S. in a minute.
Yeah,
Canada.
I do think that Marsh will be a U.S. coach at some point. You know what I mean? At some point, I think. You think he's salty? He's salty they didn't hire him?
I do think he's salty. I think that question has come up, and obviously he can't say, yeah, I'd love to because he's coaching Canada right now.
Right.
Again, I do think he's salty and vindictive enough. And if he does, I'd love it. That'd be great. I mean, Poch is already talking to AC Milan. Like, dude, the World Cup, we haven't even started the World Cup. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But I think we all knew. I think we all knew he was only going to be here until this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is it happens with the cycles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe Marsh is like, hey, I'll take it, but I'm gonna need a little extra on top of it. You know what I mean?
If you gave Poch 10, I want 10 too.
Right. And then of course the USA. What are your thoughts in terms of the opening match? And how everything goes down.
Okay, so I have notes here on Mexico and Canada, multiple. I have sheets here, notes on them, and we kind of talked a little bit. I didn't get to everything. I only have one thing written down for the U.S.
Okay.
And it's just a question, because can they actually perform? You know what I mean?
Right.
Who was it? I think it was, I saw an interview where Zlatan was talking about Christian Pulisic. It's like, are you going to be Captain America or not? You know what I mean? It seems like he shows up but doesn't show up. He is. You would say he's our best player. That first game against Paraguay is going to be. That's a hard game. I think people are overlooking that game. People are just assuming that the U.S. will beat Paraguay and Australia. I think this group the U.S. is in is a difficult group to get through. Paraguay is so well drilled. That coach has them. They know exactly what they're going to do. Paraguay will sit and they will catch you on the counter if they can. And if they come at you, they're going to come at you hard and fast.
Right.
I'm very nervous about that game. I think I saw somewhere. I think there's a bookie somewhere in Europe has that game as like a lot of people are putting that game down as a tie. I think Paraguay would be happy with a tie. I think the U.S. is expecting to win.
Right.
I'm very nervous for that game. I really am. That game is making me very nervous because if you don't win that game, then you have to beat Australia. In my opinion.
Yeah, they have a bit of a chip because I think there was some reports where people were happy about drawing Australia. So then they were kind of talking their stuff a little bit, which I understand from their perspective, So I think they're going to come out wanting to prove a point, maybe a little extra in the tackles and whatnot. So.
Well, they are a very physical team anyways. They're They're big, strong boys like those Australians are. They just really are. And again, those aren't easy games. And we scrimmaged Turkey before, and we had talked a little bit before we started that final game, that final Turkey USA game.
That was rough, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, and they didn't even look like they were even trying that hard. But this in the final group stage, the final group game for the US is that Turkey game, and I think we both agree. I think that game's going to decide who's going to land 1 or 2.
I think so.
But you have to get past Paraguay first. You know, and it's really, you really shouldn't look at the games ahead, like focused on the game that's right in front of you.
Right.
But I think for this, you have to do a bit of both. You know, if Paraguay keeps this game close, you're gonna have a hard time. And I am very nervous about this game. We don't like, what's our starting lineup? Right. The entire time he's been here, it's been changed so many times. Are we really going to keep Tim Ream in there? Is Chris Richards going to be ready because he's hurt? Right. Like, has he been training? What are we doing? What's our midfield going to be? I feel like we're light on the midfield. Like I feel like we have a lot of questions, and it's making me really, really nervous. And
okay, if you had to pick one position right now for the national team that you're kind of the most like, you know, not saying that they're bad, you know, in the position. I'm just saying, if one spot where you're like, you know, we could be stronger, what would it be for you?
I can give you like 5.
You can only fix one.
Yeah, I know. I think the most important one is what's the forward going to be? Like, is Flo going to be in there and doing what he's got to do? Like, is he going to be scoring? I think if Flo gets into a groove and gets a couple goals, it's going to free Christian up a lot to do what he has to do to be more of a Captain America. And I know you asked only for one, but Tyler Adams really has to be on point and has to be really smart in what he's doing, because I think he's the true leader of the team. I know Christian is the captain, but I don't know. Is Tyler back to being captain?
It's Ream in the back. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's my next problem. He's a really smart player. I like Tim Ream a lot. He's been a great servant of the country as far as playing. He's been around for so long. And he's really smart. He's really good and physical if he can keep the player in front of him. But if we're talking about someone running at him with speed, he's getting up there in years, man. And people are running right past him. Anthony Robinson has to really suck in. The problem is he really likes Anthony Robinson and Sergiño Dest to go forward. So who is next? Is it Miles Robinson next to him? Like, you know, like what are we doing? And are they quick enough to cover him along with that?
Yeah.
The fourth thing that I'm really worried about is what's the one thing that the U.S. has always been able to throughout the years be to hang their hat on and go, that position's always set. We're never worried about that.
That's my main one. It's the
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It's like, who's like, is it really Freeze? And like, he just gave him that position.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah. He has moments where it's like, okay, that's, you know, he has a good performance. I still think that Turner and him are like right there. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
Turner makes me so nervous too, though.
Yeah, there's moments, you know, that he has made where it's like in the moment you're like, okay, let's see who's next, you know. But I don't see a huge difference between the two of them personally.
I agree.
I know that they say Freese is better with his feet, you know, which might be true, but I don't know.
We don't want our goalkeeper thinking about that.
Yeah,
screw it.
Turner, I think he's just like reactionary. You know, he's just like boom, boom. You know what I mean? A little bit more.
Yeah, but he makes me nervous too.
Yeah. But obviously, you know, if you could, you know, get Tim Howard or Casey Keller or Friedel back, you know,
see if he wants to dust off the gloves and come back out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think with Ream, I think that's where you definitely have to have a higher work rate person right beside Adams. So whoever's gonna be able to drop in and hopefully slow down some of that, or cover if Ream gets pulled out, you know.
And that's where I really wanted Johnny Cardoso to be on this team. But, you know, with the injuries and stuff, I think it's why he's not here is because he has that injury.
Yeah, he's been injured on and off, and I'm not sure.
I like him. I like him. And as a Madrid fan, I don't like that. I like an American on that Atleti team.
Yeah. Maybe he'll switch. No. Let me see here. Any other thoughts on any of the other groups specifically, or you want to get into the bracket?
Yeah, I think that Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand group, I think that might be the weakest group here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. It's just, I'm looking at it and I'm like, if Belgium doesn't top that.
Hold on. I'm gonna open up some lighting in here. Emergency pod, you know what I mean? I have to, we're making a makeshift.
Yeah, we're making it work. We're making it work.
Well, sir. Okay, that's better.
as far as the like the host nation groups, like in all three of them, the only host nation team I have winning their group is Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I think Turkey's going to win the group against the U.S. I just do. I think they're just a better team. I like them quite a bit, and everyone's sleeping on Switzerland, but I think Switzerland's going to top that group in Canada.
Let's see if I can pull up my notes here.
Hopefully Canada can bust it out, and I think those two are like if Canada wins that group, I wouldn't be shocked at all. But
right, yeah, like, I think any of the host nations are capable with the fan support and things hopefully go the right way, you know, of winning their groups. But I also don't have all of my host nations winning.
I think the U.S. has the most difficult group.
You think so?
I do. Out of the host nations, not in the whole.
Let me see here.
I think who do you think? Which one do you think is the group of death?
My fault here. I'm just trying to pull up my notes. I had my bracket on a paper here, but then I got my groups on my computer. Just to like the old man with the computer. Let me pull this up. Am I still on camera when I swipe away?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. What the heck? Group stage scores. I think all my things went away now. Dang it. Okay, actually, you know what? I can look here. I have on my bracket. Okay, we're good. So, I don't know if I necessarily had a group of it.
Yeah, I don't think we really talked about
who's yours. I guess
I think it's Group I. Because if you look at those top three teams, it's France, Norway, Senegal. Then you have Iraq.
Yeah.
If Iraq is in almost any other group, because Iraq they are a decent team. Like, they're not a bad team. If you put them in any other group, you're like, you know what? They could probably do something a little tasty here. But, I mean, their first game against Norway, I mean, they could do something magical. I think we're going to talk about, I don't know if you want to segue this into the dark horse talk that we're going to have.
Yeah.
Norway's the team that I think could be a real dark horse in this World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
It's their first time in quite a while. I don't know if they've ever made a World Cup. I'm sure they have. But they have a lot of talent on that team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just have to look at the two biggest names in Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard.
Yeah.
But they have players around them that are good players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have a great chance of doing something crazy. But again, you're in a group with France, Norway, and Senegal. I mean, France is France. If they want to turn it on, you've got no chance. And Senegal is the defending. I mean, they won the Africa Cup of Nations. So, well, they're my Africa Cup of Nations champions. I know they switched it and gave it to Morocco, but
Okay. So what was the last thought
Well, I was
you were
talking about, we
saying?
were
I
talking
apologize.
about Norway and them possibly being a dark horse. Like they have good players on that team, and that's like positives is that they have a lot of talent on that team, and they are a young team. But that's also going to be a bit of a negative. They're so young and inexperienced in these situations. I feel like they're going to have a hard time. They're
Mm,
they're in a group, and the reason I think that they're in the group of death is, I mean, they're in a group with France. France is France. The amount of, you want to talk about talent,
yeah.
I think that they have a really good chance of winning the World Cup. Obviously, you kind of have to give them that chance, and that's all depends on if
Right.
Didier Deschamps can keep them all in line.
That's what I'm
Oddly,
wondering.
he's been the one that
Yeah.
keeps everyone together in this one. I think he knows it's his last dance. Um, but if France wants to turn it on, there's nothing you can do about it. They're coming
Hmm.
after you with everything they got, and you just gotta have to hang on and pray you have enough to hang on.
Yeah.
Then you have Norway. Again, we talked to them a little bit. I think they are a good dark horse. I think they will come in second in this group. However, if Senegal jumps them, I can see that happening. Again, they're the defending African Cup of Nations champions. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're my champions, not Morocco. I know
Yeah.
FIFA, whoever said,
Not
yeah,
Morocco.
FIFA or whoever it was said
Oh,
that, oh no, actually it's Morocco is the winner, and you have appeals and stuff in court. But that's
right.
why I think it's the group of death. I mean, those three I think are just really, really, really good teams. And
Yeah, I would. I think I would agree with that. Um, Group F could be dangerous, I think, as well. But yeah, with Norway and some surprises there, that could be.
Japan is really good. Watch out for Japan. They could win that group. I don't have a
Yeah,
ton of
they're
faith
very
in
very
Sweden. Yeah, they're
organized.
very well organized. I don't have a ton of
Yeah.
faith in Sweden. But again,
Hmm.
sometimes Sweden just kind of pulls something out of the hat, and then you get
Right.
this goal from out of nowhere, and you're like, where'd they pull that from? You don't got Zlatan no more,
Right.
but you still have
Yeah,
some
it might
magic
come
in
off
there.
the. Yeah. Um. Yeah, so we're saying I agree with you. I think Norway would probably be the dark horse, or Senegal. I mean, I know they're the champs of Africa, but
Sadio Mane still
I
got
could
it,
see them
man.
going for him. Yeah,
Sadio Mane still got
but
it.
yeah, I think Norway will do well. And their fan base is just awesome. So they got a different chance, and they always got some that other nations end up
Yeah.
copying and stuff.
Too bad we didn't
But
have Iceland to sit here.
and then yeah, Iceland. That's
Which
another
which
one that's
which
always got
Norway did
great
the same thing.
chance.
Did you see theirs? They sit and they like,
The
yeah, like
rowing, yeah.
kind of cool.
uh, yeah. That also their do you see the Viking team photos? Yeah, that's pretty I kept seeing different ones where it's like, what if each nation did
Yeah,
this and they had
I
this?
thought it was funny
That's
that they
funny.
had Erling Haaland just standing there holding a little knife.
Yeah.
I say little, but in his hand it's probably a full size
Right.
sword. But
It was probably like,
he's
yeah.
so tall that
Exactly. It was fitting for sure. Okay, so we got uh well, so watch for Norway, watch to see what happens there. Um all right. Well, do you want to get into brackets at all? Or do you want to get into winners of yeah, I don't know however you want to do
I
it,
mean, if
or
we want to get
you want to go down?
like we can go through the bracket. You can go through your bracket first, or I can go through my bracket first. It really doesn't matter. The
Okay.
whole best third place team thing. It's just
Was
yeah. Oh my!
confusing,
It's
yeah.
so confusing. It makes no
Yeah.
sense.
I think I figured it out, but I'm not 100%. So I could be wrong on the placement of it is that was one thing that I think was kind of frustrating is like there has to be, and maybe I'm just an idiot, but like it seemed overly confusing in the way it's set up. I'm sure that makes sense,
I'm
if you
sure it's going
know.
to count on goal differential, points in the group.
Yeah.
You know,
So it's yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's exactly that. Like points that they won in their respective group, goal differential, and then they're ranked, and then based on that, then they place them over here. whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we gave it our best shot here. But
I sit here and towards the end, I
so
was like, well, I mean, I guess that's the team that's going to be there. Like,
right. Now I will say the other thing too is like for Mexico. So the best we've done in modern history is 2002 for the
yeah,
USA, right? Is the quarterfinals. We almost went through to the finals
should have gone
potentially
to
off
the
except for a
we should have
handball.
gone to the semifinals.
Yeah. Yeah. So to that point, with Mexico, they have never made it past the round 16, have they? In recent
Not in
history
recent
or
history.
ever
I don't
maybe?
know in history in
Okay.
total. I'm not sure. Again,
Mm.
I should have probably looked that up.
No, you good because I'm pretty sure they have not, at least not recently. Um, so for them, even if I just this is my being a US fan, obviously. Um, they get to the round of 32, but it's not technically, if they make it through the round 16, do they get full credit for that? Making it out the knockout stage? Or is it only once they make it to the quarterfinal, now they've technically made it to that elusive game? You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I think them. Because again, in years past, it was like Mexico always made it to the round of 16. They'd make it out of the group. They'd
Mm-hmm.
somehow win
Right.
their first round of last of 32 game, and then it's like
Mm-hmm.
bang, they're there on round 16.
They would hit the
Yeah,
wall.
that was
Yeah.
the end. But again, in my bracket, the team they come up against. I just don't see them having any shot in getting past them.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, you want to go first? You want me to go first? Or let's do. Yeah, go ahead. You go first. If you
Sorry,
got
I just
yours.
wanted to look it up a little bit. Mexico has been known for its quinto partido curse, where they always
Mm-hmm.
get knocked out in round 16. They did make it to a semifinal one time, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, wait, actually, no. They've only ever made it to the round of 16.
Okay. So I'm wondering. I know they expanded it. So I think we're gonna give them credit for that fifth game. Then if they got the 32, I'm just saying it's not a quarterfinal if
No,
you win it. You know
round
what
of
I'm saying?
16 is round of 16. You don't make it past, you don't make it
Right.
past. So what we're saying is US is
All
a better
right.
team.
I just wanted to address that before we get into this. Now I will say I do have. Yeah. Okay. I I did find my group winners. So you have each of the. You have Mexico winning their group, right? Just for the
Yeah, so if you want
host
to
nation.
go through the groups, in Group A, I say I'll do Group A, you do your Group A, and we'll just kind of bounce back
Okay.
and forth. So for my Group A,
Okay.
I have Mexico winning it, and I have South Korea coming in
Okay.
second. Now,
That's what I got too.
if because again, I did watch the year. I had a lot of fun watching the European qualifications. I watched Czechia qualify. They're a good team. If I think
Mm-hmm.
if they happen to jump South Korea, I wouldn't be surprised at all. South Korea is just kind of having a bit of a hard time, in my opinion. And then you have South Africa. I think South Africa is just not where they need to be right now, and I think they will come in last in that group. I think that's like my guarantee on that. But I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe they might find some magic. The
No, you're
World
good.
Cup's the World Cup. You never know what'll happen.
Yeah. Okay. So I got Mexico, South Korea, and then I got South
Okay.
Africa in the church. Yeah. So I'm gonna give them
Open
a
for a
little.
little
Maybe it's just like
open for a little bit of Bafana magic, right?
yeah. You know what I'm saying. So I think maybe I'm recalling that too much, but
Hey, you
all right.
never know what's going to happen on that.
And that's the thing is like I didn't know, like there's always those surprise
Yeah,
matches that happen. It's like whoa, so I know that that's gonna happen, and we'll have a 6-0 or 8-0 something, or a shocking
yeah.
1-0 somebody who shouldn't have
Something where it's
won.
like,
But
how did that happen? Like, what happened?
right, yeah, and those are the moments that are awesome. But yeah, all right, Group B,
So for group,
or actually, yeah, go ahead.
for Group B, I have Switzerland winning that group.
Okay.
I just think they will. I think they're a little bit better. But again, I think that's another one where if Switzerland and Canada switch, wouldn't be shocked at all. I'm still putting Switzerland to get that win, and I think they will come out on top of that. And then I have Canada, Bosnia, and Qatar. I think Qatar, while they have some talent, I think they're just going to have a hard time being over here. It's not dry heat like they're used to. This humidity, I think, is going to play into a lot of these games, especially if they're going to be playing games up in Canada, where the humidity is just going to be unreal. So that's what
And
I got.
yeah, that's one of those things. Well, I'm just okay. I got Switzerland, Canada. I got Qatar, then Bosnia. Now, I do think Bosnia is probably
I do.
stronger,
Yeah, I think so
but
too.
I, I, I feel like Qatar. I know they've been really trying to pour a
Yeah.
lot into it. You know, their national team
Yep.
and all that. So, I think they're looking for a good showing. You know, but to your point, it's like I wasn't factoring in like where all they're playing and stuff because all those things are going to factor a difference, especially across North America. We have such different altitudes and climates,
Well,
and you know
that's what
everything.
this is so unique about this World Cup. Well, for now, until the next World Cup, or the one where they do the first 3 games in Uruguay, then they go to Spain and Morocco. It's like that's going to be
That's
weird.
gonna be crazy.
But
Yeah.
this World Cup, I think there's going to be the most travel involved ever, probably. Because I mean, depending
Mm,
on whose groups, and because I think they've kind of sectioned the groups off in certain areas. Um,
mm,
because I mean, in Brazil, they were talking about how much traveling they had to do in Brazil because Brazil is so massive for that
mm,
2014 World Cup. But
right.
there's going to be a lot of movement happening, and I think that's going to play into it.
Mm,
And when we talk about Iran later and what they're going to have to go through, like, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But there's going to be a lot
yeah.
of traveling.
I feel like yeah. I feel probably the only comparable one maybe be like Russia or Brazil. You know, one of those.
Yeah, well, Russia, I think
Because
they kept it more on the western side of Russia, not necessarily going as far
yeah, and
east.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. All right. Group C.
Okay, so here's where I get a little crazy.
I'm
So,
curious.
well, not crazy, but here's where I
Yeah.
go against what quite a lot of what most people are doing. I've got Morocco winning this group, and then I've
Yeah.
got Brazil, Scotland, and Haiti. I'm happy for Scotland being
Yeah.
back at the World Cup. You know, last time
Yeah.
they were out, I think it was here in the U.S. I think it was in the '94 one.
Mhm.
They were in Brazil's group then as well, I believe. So I feel like Scotland can't get away from Brazil.
Yeah.
I'm nervous for Brazil. A lot of people are
Yeah.
giving Brazil credit. I'm not so sure. And from what we saw from Morocco last time around, I think Morocco is just going to have more than Brazil
Mhm.
does. I
Yeah.
just do. And
They have a fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is I really hope Brazil does well because I think it's good for the World Cup.
Mhm.
If Brazil does
Mhm.
well, you know, it's all vibes.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to see Carlo Ancelotti. You want to
Yeah.
see the boys out there dancing. It's
Yeah.
gonna pivot a lot on whether we can get or they can get those goals in. If they really start banging in
Mhm.
goals, I think they're gonna do really well. The wingers are their problem, not necessarily the wingers, but wing backs. They're outside defenders. That's their
Mhm.
biggest problem because they don't really have a ton.
Yeah.
And they lost one just now, and they didn't call another
Mhm.
wing back. They called a midfielder
Oh.
because I think Carlo
Mhm.
Ancelotti realized he has a midfield problem as well. Can Carlo Ancelotti keep the vibes going? Can El Don continue and keep the vibes high and keep them going?
Right.
If he can, it's gonna be great for
Mhm.
Brazil. It's gonna be great for the World Cup, and it's gonna be a lot more fun. But I just think Morocco is just a better team.
So I have the exact same lineup. I
Really,
have nine. Yeah, I have Morocco, Brazil, Scotland, Haiti. I have 9 points, 6 points, and 3 points. So this is the first group that we've talked about so far where I have Scotland going through as a third
I
place
hope they
team.
do. I really hope they
Yeah.
do.
So I have Haiti getting knocked out, Scotland So the other groups that we talked about, yeah, the bottom two are out. I have Scotland going through on points. And I also am concerned about, like, very similar to France, the egos and stuff. And now with Ancelotti coaching at Madrid, he's like the man to do that.
Well,
You know what I mean? To coach egos and everything.
I think he's the greatest man manager of all time. He just goes, screw the tactics. I'm just going to put the players where they're going to be the best at, and we're just going to play and see what we can get done.
Yeah. All right. So the next group, USA Group D. Who?
I got Turkey.
I know what I want to happen, but
I got Turkey winning this group. I just do. I think they're too good for the US, and I hate saying it because I want us to win it.
If I want us to win it because we end up on a different side of the bracket, I feel like that would be beneficial.
I don't,
and we could talk about that then too. But yeah, I have Turkey. I actually have Turkey and the US tying on points.
Really? Okay.
I think maybe we can. Yeah, I have them 7-7, and then I have Paraguay with 3. And sorry, Australia, you're out. But I wouldn't be shocked if Australia or Paraguay swap.
I don't know. I think Paraguay
like,
is just a better team, but I think Australia come out of here with a point. I think they grind out a point in one of these games.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Paraguay and Australia or something. Or I mean, hey, if Australia could keep Turkey or Paraguay to a tie each, that would help us out.
Please, come on, Australia.
But yeah, I got them. Actually, I have them tied on points, and then going second on goal.
Really? Okay. I don't know that U.S. makes me nervous, man. If we can get goals, obviously that's the whole point of it. But
I will say the best that they've looked, in my opinion, recently is obviously Senegal and Germany a little bit, but like I felt like they seem more like you saw that like a little bit more fire, even aside from a couple moments.
I felt good about the Senegal game. The Germany game just completely disheartened me because Germany looked completely Germany looked completely uninterested, and they beat us. In my opinion, I like it just, and I was like, are we that far away? You know what I mean? Are we really that far away?
Yeah. Okay. Here's another question. All right, real quick with the U.S. group. So Mexico, and we talked about Mexico earlier in the supporters group. Great supporters. Every game they played this World Cup for Mexico will be a home game. Even in the U.S., even when they go through the next round, it will be a home game for them. For the U.S., I hope it's a home game every time. But I do feel like some of these games, it might be like 50-50.
That Paraguay game, that's going to be 50-50.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's going to be, it's going to be, so it's like, can you keep your mentality when you're playing in your home country and not getting that support?
But Sam's Army's going to have to show up big.
Yeah. I mean, just, having been there for a qualifier against Mexico in Columbus, being right beside Sam's Army, part of it, basically.
Well, I mean, we were in it. We were in it for one game.
Yeah. And that experience was just awesome, but you need that energy all game to keep these guys going, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you would think, hopefully not, right? Because you had the away games, but there was something about going home and then, somebody knocking your plate over when you're trying to eat dinner, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, not in my house, come on now. Anyway, all right, Group E. I got Germany finishing top, Ecuador, and I got Ivory Coast going through as a third.
Really? So I have Ivory Coast and Ecuador flip-flopping. I think Ivory Coast is just, I think they're really, really good. Like, I do. I mean, they have a great front line. The only thing is making sure that they stay tight and compact and they don't let things get past. Because if they try and chase a game, they're going to have a hard time, in my opinion. But maybe that'll go to their strength, but I don't know.
Yeah. And there are, what I did for this is I literally went game by game and just guessing the score. Okay, I kind of feel like this, based on some of it I had more information than others, but I actually had them tied on points. So, it's like, who knows what happens.
I think Ivory Coast is going to surprise you a little bit. Watch them. I think you'll enjoy that team. I think you'll enjoy that team.
Yeah. All right. Group F. Who you got?
I got the Netherlands winning that. I think they just will. I like Japan a lot. They're just a well-drilled
Hmm.
team. I like them a lot. And then you got
Yeah,
Sweden and Tunisia at the bottom. Um, I can't wait to
that's
see how
what I got
wrong we
too.
are in all of these.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's gonna be because there's gonna be so many that are
Yeah,
flipped,
but
but that's part of the fun,
but I just think the Netherlands are. Here's a random thing that I'm just gonna say. No one's really hot on the Netherlands, and I'm not overly hot on them either. However, they quietly had a really good world. Not quietly, they had a really good World Cup last time
Mhm.
around. They
Right.
got absolutely
They ruined our
robbed.
party.
Yeah, well, they got absolutely robbed in that Argentina game, in my opinion.
Mhm.
They got completely robbed.
Right, right.
I think they're gonna come out here. I think they're gonna win their group, and I think they're gonna have a good showing in the round of 32. I I say that, and I'm looking. Yeah, I think they'll have a
Okay.
good shout.
Okay. All right. We got okay, let's knock out these other ones real quick here. Uh Group G, who you got?
Belgium's going to top that, in my opinion. Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. I think this is like we talked about it before. I think it's one of the weakest groups out here. And if Belgium doesn't top this,
It's a problem.
it's a pro. We got a problem, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I only got Belgium and Egypt going through, and then I don't think Iran and New Zealand are going to do enough to get through as a third place
I
team.
agree.
Yeah. Group H, I got Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and then how do you say that? I can't really
Cape
read it.
Verde.
Cape Verde. Yeah.
I
So that's the
I
order
got the
I got.
same thing. I think Spain's going to run away with this group. Uruguay Uruguay looks bad right now. I hope they do good,
Mm.
but I'm not so sure. Saudi Arabia,
Hmm.
who knows? I think Cape Verde
Yeah.
is just going to be happy to be at the World Cup.
Right, right.
Vibes.
It's a
Yeah,
party.
vibes.
Yeah, dude. It's and I want some of these smaller countries that aren't
Yeah.
expected to do like have a game where it's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Did you see the bus that
But
they are going to be driving around in?
yeah,
it's
it was like no
yeah,
windows or
it's
something. Yeah.
incredible. It looks like a blast, but
Yeah. I do have Spain, Uruguay, and I have Saudi Arabia going through as a third place team. I'm not
yeah,
sure if I mentioned
I
that
do
or
as
not,
well.
but mhm. Group I.
Group of death. France tops it. Norway, Senegal are going to fight for second place, and then Iraq is just going to. We're at the World Cup.
Mhm.
Yay.
Right, right.
I
Yeah.
think that's all they're going to be able to get out
Yeah,
of this.
maybe they get a point, but I don't
I'm
really
not seeing
think
where.
so. Maybe
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm just
I'm
not
not sure
seeing where.
either. But yeah. I do have France, Norway, then Senegal third. But like to your point, those two could swap, you know what I
Very
mean? So,
easily.
and this is all contingent also on France not having a 2002 like
Yeah,
meltdown, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Where the egos get in the way and
Let's say
stuff.
France
So,
and Senegal are playing first. Last time that
yeah, a
happened,
little
Senegal
replay.
surprised us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we'll see if history repeats or not. And then Group J, I have Argentina. This one I didn't have as much information, but I was going with
yeah,
Austria, Algeria, and I have Algeria going through as third place, and then Jordan,
okay.
obviously.
Yeah, no, I got Argentina, I got Algeria second, and I got Austria third.
Okay.
And then Jordan, I
Hmm.
think again is just going to be. We're here for vibes. You know,
Right.
we made the World Cup.
Right.
I, everybody still thinks Argentina is just absolutely incredible. I'm not so sure. I think they're all quite a bit older.
Mm.
I think they're gonna have a hard time. I think they're gonna rely on some of the younger kids to pull something out themselves because I don't know Messi. Messi still got it, but
Right. Right.
it's
If he gets a moment where he can,
yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I I could see him being more. I mean, obviously of course, he can still score. He can get into, he's an experienced, smart, legend, whatever. But I could see him being more this year as more just like racking up some
Yeah,
assists if and getting them through a few matches where it's like boom, that's like that magical ball gets played through and they score and then it's like
yeah.
okay, that gets them through or penalty or something. So
Hey,
um
can you give
yeah,
me a second, right quick?
Yeah, we might have to do like a guest appearance by him on the
Is he doing a
podcast.
is he doing an Instagram live or what?
No, it's just like a reel he put together. So maybe we'll have to see if he's down to get
Is he
on
just
here or
talking about
something.
Mexico?
Yeah, he's talking about Mexico and
I'm
South
gonna have to
Africa.
look at that.
His yeah, his direct quote was normally I'd be they said normally I'd be rooting for South Africa, but they've been on some fuck shit recently, so I'm rooting for Mexico because all that crap that's going on
That's
over there.
crazy.
So funny. Yeah. But anyway, I just want to give
I
him a
love
shout
it.
out. And, yeah. All right. So, what are we gonna
Group
do? Where were
Group
we at?
K.
I forget where we're at. Group K. Oh yeah, let me pull mine up again.
So
All
for
right.
Group K, I got Portugal winning that.
Who you got?
I just do. I
Mm-hmm.
love Portugal. No one's talking about Portugal. Everyone's talking about Spain and France, England, stuff like that, and people
Mm-hmm.
talking about Argentina defending. I love Portugal. I want them to win this World Cup so bad. I
Mm-hmm.
love that midfield they have.
Yeah.
There's not really a weakness on that team. You have the best left
Mm-hmm.
back in the world, in my opinion, Nuno Mensch, on the left side. You got,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing is Ruben Diaz going to be healthy in the middle, but then you have in the middle of the defense, then you have Vitinha in the middle with João Neves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look what they did with PSG this year. And then you
Right.
add, in my opinion, the best midfield duo in the world. You add the Premier League Player of the Year in Bruno Fernandes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. This is
what do you
yeah.
want?
For me, For me, I feel like, and not to get into the whole Messi Ronaldo thing, but I feel like for the conversation, right? That would be phenomenal for the
Oh,
conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh,
and you can have this conversation
yeah,
forever, right? But if you were able to, if he was able to pull it off, or not he, but the
yeah.
team, right, are able to pull it off, like now there's some
Now it's like,
clapbacks.
now
You
what?
know what I'm saying? Like,
Now what?
yeah, now they gotta do a 1v1 and just
I agree.
no, but yeah, but I think for the sake of the conversation, that'd be awesome. Obviously if the USA can't win it, but um, and the other thing I was gonna say with Portugal, obviously, with the loss of Diogo
Yeah,
Jota and his brother, I think that has given them like a whole bigger
yeah.
purpose, even than just
Other
soccer,
than just getting it for Ronaldo.
and yeah, and so I think that has been unifying, and when a team has like a real uniting factor, and obviously we would rather him be here to
Yeah.
play,
Yes.
but when these things happen, I think they do unify a team. I think the same to that same note, like it's not the same thing, right? But where you have like something bigger that you're fighting for, or maybe even in other instances where it's like a chip on your shoulder about something, like Morocco and Senegal, I think that they both feel like they want to go
They want
farther
to prove
because
that
of
they're the
their
deserving
dispute.
champion. Which
Yeah, yeah, and I think
I'm
Morocco
gonna say Morocco can shove it because the way they all the stuff that was going on off the field, like
off the
like
field stuff.
around taking towels from the goalkeepers, like just the way
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
whole thing was, like everything that happened with when every
Mhm.
time Morocco was involved, it's like
Mhm.
get out. Like I can't
Yeah,
they're a good team, but
and
I can't stand the way
yeah.
that happened, and
Mhm.
I'm just praying on their downfall, man. Like I
Yeah.
just am.
So for me, like it was watching Morocco do well in the last World Cup was
Yeah, it was
kind of cool.
cool.
I think their fan
Yeah,
base was the fan base, but you don't want to see the cheat, like let the game play
yeah,
out and stuff. You don't have to be doing the other crap on the side, like so the Morocco fans, I think overall, but like when you have like surrounding staff going out and grabbing
yeah.
towels, like not that's not part of the game.
That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Hmm. Um, let me see here. Okay, yeah, I have Portugal winning as well. I have Colombia, and then the other two are out Congo and Uzbekistan. And then Group L, who you got?
Yeah. I really want to say that I have Croatia topping it, but I don't. I have
Yeah,
England topping it. Then
yeah.
I have Croatia,
Hmm.
then Ghana, then Panama. I don't know. I don't know what we're getting out of Ghana. They have good players there too. Like all these African teams have really good young players going forward. Like they all do. But they're I don't. Yeah, some of them feels like we don't know where we're going with them yet. And I was always a fan of the Black Stars. And the Ghana Black Stars. That's kind of their thing.
Yeah. Right.
Like I was always a fan. But
I liked them except when they played the U.S. When they played the U.S., they were always a thorn in our side. I was like 2 World Cups in a row. They knocked us out.
Couldn't get away from them.
Yeah, but any other team, they were such a fun group, to watch. And obviously, a lot of those guys are gone now. But yeah. So, all right. Okay. So, how do we want to do the bracket? How do you want to? You just want to go down yours, and then we'll get to the final. Wait, maybe do this. You run down your whole 32, both sides, or you do both sides, and then we'll knock out round of 16, and then we'll do slow down with the quarterfinals.
Just say
unless there's any notes.
I was gonna say we could do last of 32, and as I go, you tell me where you have different teams. Kind of bang
that sounds
it out.
good. You say yours.
So I'm gonna go on the left side here. Since I had Germany winning their group, I have Germany first, then I have Sweden coming out as
so
the top third place team for them.
Okay. So assuming we did any of this right,
that's assuming we do. We know what we're doing.
Because I don't even know about that, but I had Paraguay over there. I had Germany and Paraguay, so I had Germany beating Paraguay to get through. Okay. All right. Next.
So I have Germany beating Sweden to get through. Because then I got France and Iran.
Okay. I got France and Sweden playing. I got France.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got France going.
I might have completely done this wrong. I don't know.
Same here. I got France going through as well. So we got in the last 16. We got Germany, France.
Those are the important parts. Yeah.
I think those two are just gonna roll through anyways.
Right.
Then I got South Korea and Canada.
That's what
I got Canada winning that game.
So I got South Korea going through.
Okay.
But I could see Canada playing, host nation, being carried through by the crowd. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. On history, I'm going with South Korea.
That's fine. I can see both. Yeah. Then I got the Netherlands and Brazil.
That's what I got as well.
I got Brazil winning. As much trash that I talked with them just now, it's that feeling. It's that, and as a Madrid fan, it's that feeling that you have as a Madrid fan is that it's your birthright to continue going on in the Champions League. Just feel like Brazil will kind of have something to continue going.
You see the yellow jersey, and you're like, "Come on, where's that magic of Ronaldo?"
The Netherlands they had a good World Cup last World Cup. They were kind of talked about being maybe a little older then. Now it's 4 years on from that. Is Frankie de Jong gonna be able to control that midfield like he did last time around? Who's their forward? Is it Memphis Depay? He's been playing in Brazil anyways. Where are we with Netherlands? I think there's a lot of questions for me in there. I have Brazil moving on and playing Canada.
Yeah, I have them tying and then going through.
Okay, all
right. What's your next one?
I got Colombia and Croatia.
That's what I got.
That's assuming we did things right. I think Colombia will just come in second in that Portugal group. I think DR Congo and Uzbekistan just aren't going to have enough for either Portugal or Colombia. So I think they'll go and. Looking at it now,
who's your winner?
Looking at it now, I kind of want to switch Colombia and Croatia. I have Croatia winning. Just because, again, they have that experience. They know how it is. But Colombia is a good team, man.
They might be a little younger.
Luis Diaz has been around a long time.
That's true. I got him tying and then going through as well.
So you have Croatia. You have Croatia going through though.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked. Obviously, we went the other way.
I kind of want Colombia to win that, as much as it's gonna break Joe's heart, Joe Pavlik's heart.
Yeah,
I kind of want Colombia to win that. I got Spain and Algeria next.
Okay. You got Spain?
Yeah, I mean, I got Spain winning that.
Oh, Spain and Algeria. I got Spain and Austria.
Yeah, and that's where you and I had switched. I have Austria going in on the other side of the group, of the bracket.
Okay.
I think whether Spain meets Austria or Algeria, they're winning. They're going through.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that we have Algeria and Austria swapped around, because I'm assuming I'm going to know who you think they're going to be playing on the other side then. And then going to the bottom two, I have Turkey and Ecuador. And
I got Turkey and Ivory Coast.
Okay, I could see that as well. I think I have. So you have Ivory Coast below Ecuador, and that's the one where we had flip flopped. Okay, so
and it was like those two could flop.
I agree. And then below them, I have Belgium and Czechia.
Yeah, I got Turkey beating Ivory Coast, and I got Belgium beating Saudi Arabia.
I mean, I have Belgium going through anyways. Belgium and Turkey.
Okay.
I just think, again, Turkey's going to have a little too much for Ecuador. If Turkey meets Austria, though, I think Austria, with that familiarity, might have something on Turkey. Because, again, Austria, I think, is a good team. I think they're just going to be on the other side of the bracket, in my opinion. But we'll see how that goes.
All right. For the right side, the top team, I have Morocco, Japan playing. Okay. And then I got Morocco going through.
I agree. That's if they continue their magic.
Yeah. I'm just kind of thinking that there's something there, but and then I got Ecuador, Norway.
Okay.
And then I have Norway.
Yeah, so I have Norway, Ivory Coast, and then I have Norway going through.
Okay. And then I got Mexico and Scotland, with Mexico going through.
I have Mexico and Saudi Arabia. That's where I put Saudi. But I got Mexico going through anyway.
You got Mexico going through. Okay. I got England and Ghana. And England is obviously stacked per usual, right? But I'm wondering, like, some of the choices that they left at home, and also the elevation, the heat. I feel like that could get to them over the tournament. You know what I mean? Especially this is the 5th game. But I mean, they're pros, obviously.
Yeah,
they should be good. But I feel like England's gonna get by.
I got England and Austria.
Okay.
And it's funny that we have England and Austria, and we have England going through and meeting Mexico, because I've been listening to other people talk. And a lot of British people are want no part of Mexico and La Azteca. They want no part of that.
That's dangerous, dude. Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, this could be fun. That could be fun.
Yeah. That's a game if that happens, that's a must watch for sure. Next one, I got Argentina, Uruguay.
Same.
With Argentina going
I
through.
agree. I think Argentina is just better than Uruguay right now, and I think Uruguay is just kind of lost.
Yeah. And then I got US and Egypt, with US going through. Okay.
Oh, we have a chance to knock out Messi.
Yeah. I got, dude, if they beat Argentina, and we'll get to that. But if we beat Argentina, like, so many. For sure, that's an away game for us. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be all these kids wearing Messi, and I'm not.
It's gonna be.
You can love whoever
Americans are gonna be,
but for a World Cup, for a World Cup, you got to put that Messi jersey down. You got to support the US.
No,
you know what I mean?
A lot of Americans will still be wearing Argentina jerseys,
but they're gonna do it, which sucks. Yeah, but anyway, Then I got Switzerland and Algeria, with Switzerland going through.
I got Switzerland and Senegal. And I got
who you got going through?
I got Senegal going through.
Actually, in that matchup, I do think Senegal. I think there's that like motivation. Yeah. And then I got Portugal and Senegal playing with Portugal
Damn.
going
Okay,
through.
so I got Portugal and Paraguay playing with Portugal going through, and Portugal and Senegal meeting in the next round.
Okay. All right. Okay. Want to knock out the 16s?
Yeah.
Real quick. All right. You want to go or should I go?
I'll jump over to the left side and then you hop to the right side. So
Okay.
going back to
Sounds
the
good.
left side, I got Germany, France for that first game,
Okay.
which we both agreed on. And I got France winning that game. I just don't know about Germany right now. They're a really good squad, but I don't know if they can have enough to stop France.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, assuming France doesn't implode, I think France will beat them as well.
And then I got Canada and Brazil, and I just have Brazil winning that game. Like, no offense to Canada, but it's Brazil.
Right. That's a powerhouse.
That's just really tough.
I have South Korea and Brazil, with Brazil going through.
So I got Croatia and Spain.
It's a big one.
God, I want Croatia to win that game, but it's gonna be Spain.
Yeah, I think so as well. That's exactly what I got.
So then I got Turkey and Belgium. I have Belgium winning this game.
But it wouldn't be a shock.
No, it wouldn't be a shock if it was Turkey, but I don't know if I have enough faith in Turkey yet, even though I know they're a very good team. You know what I mean? And I think it'd be really fun if Turkey continues on and gets to the quarterfinal. I don't know. I don't know. There's something about betting against Belgium. Like they still have some of their golden generation knocking around. And I think obviously this is their last chance to make any kind of impression, for their country. So
and I think maybe some of that pressure being off, you know what I mean? Because they don't expect, might actually help them. You know what I mean? They just play the game and all right. On the right side, I got Morocco and Norway, with Morocco going through again.
Ooh, I got Norway winning. They're my dark horse, man. Morocco? They're my dark horse.
Dang,
they're my dark horse.
Okay, no, okay. I could see Holland and Odegaard and then pulling something off.
But I can see them crashing and burning.
I could just see Morocco. I mean, Morocco does have right now. They just have something. You know what I mean?
And I agree with you. I sat there and I looked at that game and I went,
"That's a tough one. That'd be a fun one to watch."
I'm just putting Norway down. And we're gonna put it out there, and hopefully the soccer gods are listening.
Fair enough. All right. I have.
Then we have the fun game.
I got. Mexico and England. I want to say. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I got, and I think England will win.
I got England 2-0.
Oh, okay. I got England winning, but there would be something really fun about watching Mexico take out England in a way. Except for the part of me being a US
I was about to say, would it though? Would it though? I'd be so pissed.
Especially,
I'd be so pissed.
Yeah. So this is the one part where I don't want them to go through, is because I think in the next match, Argentina and the US, I think that's the end of the road for us. You know what I mean? So we can't have them going farther than
I agree.
But
I agree. And the main part,
I'm not trying to be a hater.
No, I agree with you. But the main part, the main reason I put Argentina beating the US, other than the fact that they're better than us, is I want to see Ronaldo Messi in the quarterfinal because I got Senegal, Portugal playing right below them, and I got Portugal winning that.
Okay, I got Switzerland and Portugal, with Portugal winning through. Yeah, now that in the quarterfinal, oh my god, both teams,
they're gonna want it.
Their supporting squad is gonna be flying around. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be.
Well, but I think the Portugal squad will be flying around. I think Argentina's old ass squad is gonna have a hard time flying around, but. They're gonna play hard. They're a tournament team.
We'll see. Yeah. I will say, okay, before we go on to the quarterfinals, okay, I know it's risky, and in most situations it's not gonna help you, but managing a tournament is different than like a league, like a standings in a league or whatever, right? So and I know that matches are happening at the same time, so you can't really risk certain things. But is there a point where a team can kind of be like, you know what, we might be better off if we drop to second or third, we're good. You're not going to risk getting knocked out the group. But is there any point where a team is like, you know what, we would rather end up on this side or that side? I mean, it kind of sounds crazy, but also like, I don't know.
Maybe, but depending on what team you're talking about. Like if you're the US and you want to avoid this side, you want to win your group so bad.
Yeah, for the US for sure.
Yeah, because then,
and I think in most instances,
because then you're talking about, instead of playing Egypt, you're talking about playing South Korea. If you're on the opposite side, and then you're going in against Brazil, which you're probably going to feel a little bit better about than Argentina, because Brazil isn't as well drilled as Argentina. Which again, I still think I think you're going to lose anyways.
Yeah,
but you might go into that game feeling a little better about it, because there's something about, at least
you don't have the World Cup match.
There's something about
right now.
Yeah, there's something about Argentina and Messi that Americans and Europeans just shit their pants when they see him. There you go.
They're not. I absolutely boring. So I actually think, obviously Brazil always has fans no matter where they go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do think at the moment, I do think that we might have a slightly more favorable group or a supporter group against Brazil than Argentina.
No, I agree.
What I mean? Argentina, it'll be all blue.
Yeah.
Brazil, it might be like more than the majority of yellow for sure. But we might have a better chance versus like all the Messi fans. You know what I mean? But anyway. All right. Let me see here. Oh, we have the quarterfinals now. All right, go ahead and start on the left side.
France, Brazil. I think France is too much, and I think this is where Brazil ends.
Yeah,
I would prefer to see Brazil go. I would prefer to see Brazil continue.
So you want Brazil to get back to the heights?
I do. I want to see them in a semifinal, because and then in the second game I have Spain, Belgium, and I have Spain winning that fairly easily. Spain and Brazil in the semifinal. I mean, we've seen that France-Spain game so many times in the like
you get that
in the Euros. Yeah, like Spain, Brazil, I think would be a lot of fun. The concern would be is that Brazil ended up sitting so much because Spain would have so much of the ball, because Spain is they just hold the ball so much. But I would love to see just a back and forth game between Lamine Yamal, Vinny, and Nico Williams, and you know what I mean, Endrick, and everyone just trying to pull everything out of their hat to try and score and win this game. I want to see that, but I think it's going to end up being France-Spain on that side.
Yeah. I personally love when there's a South American giant playing against a European giant.
It's so much better.
Like, there's so much to it. There's a history. There's all kinds of But I also have Spain beating Belgium. And on the note of the players on each side, Spain doesn't have any Madrid players in this World Cup. So how sweet would it be for Vinny or one of the Madrid players to score and take out the whole non-Madrid team?
There you go. Take that, Barca.
Oh, my God. Yeah. All right. On the right side, I got... Okay. For my quarterfinal, I got Morocco and England.
Here's where we differ. I got Norway and England.
Okay. I'm going to trust the magic that Morocco is on right now. And I think you know what? In hindsight, Morocco might be my dark horse.
They have to be at this point, because they're making the semifinal.
I feel like they're my dark. Yeah. They might be my dark horse, actually. I'm going to go Morocco, pulling off a miracle against England. Where are they playing? They're
playing in Miami.
It's gonna be hot and muggy.
Hey, that's England's home base, though. They're yeah,
Is it really
that's where
Miami?
they're training.
Dang. That's why they're
Yeah.
dying all the time. Okay, I have Morocco going
Okay.
through. Now I know that history. Talk about history before. England should pull it off. Even like the squad and
They're a
everything.
good tournament
I
team.
just feel like
They've been showing up
yeah,
recently, but that's with a different
yeah.
coach. I don't trust Tuchel. I don't
Oh,
trust Tuchel as much.
oh, with England, you're
Yeah.
saying yeah. I'm gonna say I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say Morocco goes through.
Sorry.
And then no, you're good. Who's you said Norway and
Norway and
England for
England. I
you?
got England going through.
England go through. Okay. And then I got Argentina and Portugal. And on this one, I got Portugal getting by.
Same.
So, whew. All right. Now the semifinal. Big match.
France, Spain.
Mhm.
France is too much again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. They won the World Cup, then they lost in the semi in the final, right? They have so much experience down there. They're stacked.
They know how to get there.
Mm-hmm. I do think that France on paper is a stronger team. Like overall, just like I feel like Spain pulls it off though.
I can see it happening. I can see either one of them just pulling magic out and going.
Yeah, just something happening. I have them 2-2 and then going through. I don't know, is that on PKs? I guess.
Yeah, I just think that France's defense might be a little better. Although I don't know. Come to think of it, I don't know. It's so. I don't trust Marc Cucurella, and if he's trying to defend against, I mean, frankly, it doesn't matter if it's Michael Olise or anybody else. Like if Olise is running out, Olise is, I think, just the best player in the world right now. I think he should win. Yeah, I think he should win the Ballon d'Or. But if I'm more scared of that French front
attack
three than I am of the Spain side of things.
I do think on paper for sure.
I think Spain is as a team. They're more cohesive as a team, but not as much about the egos. But I think Didier Deschamps, I think, is just going to be like, look, we're making a final one last time. This is my last run. We're doing this.
Right.
But
like you want to get there and lose again? Or crash out or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got Spain going through to the final, and then I got France going to the third place match.
Okay, so I got France going on, and I got Spain dropping out.
Okay. Again, that would not be. Yeah,
I think that'll go either way.
And then I got Morocco and Portugal obviously in the semifinal. And then I got Portugal ending Morocco's run and going to the final.
I got Portugal beating England, and England they think football's coming home, but it's not. Sorry, it's just not.
I almost when I was about to write down between Morocco and England, I had like flashbacks to like when Ronaldo was taking the PK. Was it in Germany, the World Cup? You know what I mean? So I almost wanted to write that down, but I was like, I'm gonna trust Morocco's run, And then I got France and Morocco in the third place game. I got France beating Morocco.
Yeah. I got Spain beating England.
Who's your third place?
I got Spain beating England 2-1.
That'd be a fun game too, yeah. All right. Final match. So you got France, Portugal. I got Spain, Portugal.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Portugal's a better team. I think they have a better midfield. I think they have a better defense. And I think that's your core. I think that's how you build, up. I think France has a better attack, for sure. But you have Michael Olise going against Nuno Mensch, and Nuno Mensch shut him down already once. So can he do it again? You know what I mean? I think Portugal is going to kind of have a good idea of how to shut that left side down. And if you're going to have, again, if you shut him down, then you got Mbappe just sprinting at you from the other side. But I think France is going to be, I think they're going to be a little freaked out of that midfield. Well, not freaked out, but like, yeah,
Aware,
who are you
to
going to have shut down that midfield in France? Like, is N'Golo Kante going to be able to keep up? You know what I mean? I think they're taking him, so they're going to prey on him being able to wind the clock back and give you what he used to. But I'm not so sure. I think all of Portugal's success is going to hinge on that midfield. If that midfield can control games like I know they can, or like I feel like they can, I think Portugal's in. I have Portugal winning it 3-1 for the first World Cup ever.
3-1. Dang.
I don't know why, and I'm jinxing them. I'm putting the Maloik on them. I love Portugal this year. I just do.
Yeah.
The only thing is the only issue they have is what are we going to do with Ronaldo? Like, is he going to play the whole time? Is he going to be, is he going to be able to be a forward like he needs to be? That's the big thing, but they don't have a forward.
It feels like this go round they have more of that figured out with Ronaldo's role than the last time. The last time felt like a waste of a cycle for him, which I felt really bad for him, But I think this time they actually have like a good structure around him. I want Portugal to win. And there's a part of me that thinks that they have a better chance against Spain than France.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Because they beat Spain before in finals. They beat them twice.
So there's a part of me, So that's why I think like maybe they can beat Spain, I guess is what I'm trying to say, as opposed to playing France. But I do think that Spain, I have, if I was just going based on just, just kind of whatever, going on vibes right now. But like, I do think I had Spain going through and winning the final. Now I hope Portugal, if it's them two in the final.
I want Portugal to win it so bad.
With the Ronaldo storyline and everything, I do want Ronaldo to win in that instance. Like, Jamal, he can wait. He'll have plenty of time. But like, for the storyline, I want Portugal to win. When I was just looking at the two names on the paper, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I went with Spain 2-1, but I hope you're right. I hope yours is correct.
I think Portugal will score. I think France will score. I think Portugal will get one more, and France will just be pushing so hard that Portugal will get that BS third goal in the end, where it's just going to be like, well, that's game. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how.
Well, hope so.
I want it. I'm willing it into existence.
Okay. That was a lot. We went through a lot on the whole 100 and some matches. You know what I mean?
Let's say this is supposed to be a short one. An hour and a half later, we are.
Yeah, this is the emergency one. Yeah, no, but yeah, I'm gonna do a quick intro and stuff. But either way, now people know what to expect, and obviously not all of them are gonna be quite this long probably. But we wanted to kind of give our expectations, and then we can see how bad we were on the predictions and what surprises the World Cup have.
And not all of them is going to be like analytical like this. Like some of it will just be
no
talking more about the sport and kind of how we feel things are going and things like that. So
for sure, it continues on after the World Cup, so it can't just be about the World Cup. It's just about the World Cup at the moment, But we'll try and talk about more about the growth of the sport and all that stuff, but this is kind of an introduction to us and gives us something to talk about as we get used to the mics and
like we said, it's World Cup Eve. It's better than Christmas.
Yeah,
better than Christmas Eve.
Yeah, bro, I'm so excited. Last question that I have. I mean, unless you got. Oh, you know what? I had jotted down a couple just quick ones. Okay, so far social media. What is the most what's been your favorite thing to see on? Is there anything that stood out around the World Cup?
My favorite thing to see is all the Europeans coming over to the US and being like loving the stuff that they've been making fun of us for. Like the one chick talking about why ranch is so good, which I'm not a big fan of ranch, but like and Europeans going, now we see why Americans love soda so much. They go into the 7-Eleven and get a big gulp and that kind of stuff. And the one
the German dude who's going around like JJ Watt, he shouts, "Hey, when you're in Houston, let me know. Like, I got you. That's been my favorite thing as well. Aside from the U.S. fans getting back to
all the European fans going, how is it so freaking hot? And all the Americans all the Americans going back at him like, dude, this is preheat. This ain't even hot yet.
Right.
Like, you ain't even close.
Like, this is why we got AC.
That's kind of been my favorite thing, is just kind of seeing that.
Yeah. Same. I'm gonna save this one for us next time. But the one question I did want to ask before we start is also, what would you consider, like, okay, the US, they made a good run of it. You know what I mean? Do they have to hit a certain round, or is it more the way they play?
No matter where you go on which side of the bracket, if you win or if you come in second, you're going to end up either coming into, if you win your round of 32, you're going to end up coming into Argentina or Brazil. If you go out to either one of those two, you make it to the last of 16, fine. Successful enough. That's fine. We just need to make sure we look like we know what we're doing, we're competent, and we move on. If we crash out in the groups, or if we lose in the last, the round of 32, that's no good. That's no good. That's the problem.
Would you rather have Egypt potentially, or like Ivory Coast? For
Egypt,
example,
by far. I don't want Ivory Coast. Yeah. Ivory Coast is a good team. I'm telling you, watch them. I think you'll enjoy that team.
Check them out more. There's so many teams in this World Cup. Like, obviously, like, usually it's like, all right, you're kind of more in the loop. I've been a little out of it, other than a few of the teams. But
did you watch any of the qualifiers other than like CONCACAF qualifiers? Like, I watched a lot of the European qualifiers and some of the African stuff. I didn't get to watch any of the Asian
more just
stuff,
summaries. Yeah, it was more just summaries and highlight type stuff. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I know every player right now. Now, once we get rolling, I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna do a little more deep dive stuff. But I kind of have an idea for most of the bigger teams, obviously, but some of those smaller to medium tier, like in terms of like where they'll place, in my opinion, I'm not as in depth on them, but yeah.
There's a young